It's Saturday, and today, believe it or not, it's supposed to be the best weather of the weekend. Tomorrow is supposed to be a damn sight worse. Arrived here in total sunshine. Just as I was leaving the car, a message flashed up on my phone saying rain in probably about 20 minutes. Just checked, there was going to be a short shower, and it started off first of all hailing, followed by rain, followed by sleety snow, and then followed by more rain. And it keeps brightening up and getting dull again. Came here 3 weeks ago, and hopefully it's showing up on the camera now, the rain that I've got here. So you can see I've got blue skies there. It's all broken up all over the place. This is another short shower. When I came here last time, I spotted loads of frogs everywhere, all just spawning. And my plan today was to come back to see, first of all, if the frogs have spawned, see if I could spot any tadpoles, or see what stage they're at. Wandered across the far side there, first of all, which is where I spotted them all last time. And there's probably 2 or 3 small, fresh patches of frog spawn, which I'd say may only be a few days old, because it looks like some of the eggs are starting to develop into tadpoles. And it's really sort of probably 3 stages of the tadpole. First of all, it's once the spawn has been laid, it's 1 to 3 weeks before they develop and hatch as tadpoles. I believe it's then something like 4 to 12 weeks before they start developing into frogs, and it's going to be another few weeks after that before they can finally come out onto land. So I suspect, as it's been 3 weeks, all of those tadpoles have possibly hatched or been eaten. Walking around the lake here again, I think at one point in the video I mentioned there was a few shots that I liked, that because of the sheer light coming through, the contrast and everything didn't work with the reflections. But walking around this time, because the light is so changeable, I think some of these reflections now work better. I mean, fortunately around this side, I mean, you can see over the far side there, that's where the wind is all on the other side of the lake there, and this side is a lot calmer. It does blow around here sometimes, but I think these reflections actually work a lot better now without the bright sunshine coming through. And especially the green on the bank here, it's still like last time, it's very vibrant. It's almost like it's, sometimes if you see a picture like that, you'd think it's been oversaturated. So I'm going to get the camera out in a few minutes to see what I can do with some of these reflections around here, because there's one here that if I can get down low enough to get that fully in there would look really nice, but without hopefully what's in the front here. And there are a few other pieces. I mean, even this small piece here, the island here, looks really nice again. And I think a lot of it is because I've got those really vibrant pieces of green in there. And I think there might even be another one around this side. Yeah, I mean, I've got the silver birch tree coming in the water here, again with the various different pieces of greens, all looks really nice. Whereas when you compare it to, say, like the more muted, sort of like pale colour of, say, like the dying reeds on the other side there, they all look very nice, but it just doesn't really hit you like the vibrant greens. One of the great things about using a tripod is, for example here, I've managed to frame up the image that I want. I've took 1 or 2 test pictures because I've had to just move the camera around a bit because of some of this foreground getting in the way, and not overly happy with the composition. But my issue now is the ripples on the water keep coming and going. So by using the camera on the tripod, for ease, I'm just using the app on my phone, but I could directly shoot from the camera. And every time I get the sort of like the image where I want it with the ripples, I can then just take another image. So I'm not having to recompose every time for as the conditions change. Weather today really is changeable. I mean, you can see got fully blue skies there, and just through the trees, sort of fairly low down, there's more cloud there. Got another shower coming through probably in the next half hour. Again, another short shower. But the problem is today is the wind. It is supposed to be quite blustery today. I'm surprised it's actually here. It's not windier than what it is. But I've got a problem with the ripples coming in. For example, I've just spotted this tree through here. Looks absolutely amazing with the reflection here. How much I would include, I don't know, because I've also spotted there's a bird box on the tree as well. So it would be nice to have the top of the image with the bird tree and coming down with the reflection, and trying to also get that bird box showing in the reflection. But hopefully you can see on the camera here, this ripple is just too much at the moment. When I was taking some images here a few minutes ago, I was just taking the image, and all of a sudden I had something sort of surface in the water on the side here. Whether it was a frog or a small fish, I don't know, but it sent a nice wave of ripples across the image. So I did manage to take a selection there, and hopefully those come out quite nice as a sequence of images. The weather's really making things difficult today, because I've also switched over to macro and just trying to get some images of these small buds, and was trying for these berries here, but the trouble is with this, the slightest breeze moves everything, and it's all interconnected here with the whole lot. So the berries are really difficult to get any form of image there, but these buds you can swap round to lower branches which are a little bit thicker, whereas the smaller ones are just too much prone to even the slightest breeze. For me, one of the great things I find about working out of a rucksack and most of my images from a tripod is that you'll always come across scenes where you think that it looks really, really nice, and if you had your camera in your hand, you would probably just take an image straight away. But when you've got to get everything out, you stop and think, is there really an image there? And I will come across places like this. It's so nice walking through the woods here. You've got all this lovely light. It's low down, creating lots of contrast. Got a muddy pathway going through here, but it's one of those scenes that's really, really nice to walk through. But it's, when you think about it, it's not one of those scenes where you can get a really stunning image from. Today has been a pretty interesting day regarding weather. As you can see, blue skies, bright sunshine again, but that wind is bitterly cold, and it comes along with quite some gust as well at times. That's ruled out much work with reflections, and certainly much work with macro, because most macro things I'm looking at are usually things like buds and things sort of like on branches, which are just going to blow around with the wind. Been an interesting day. Have enjoyed it, but it's nice to be back to the car to get the muddy boots off. Don't think I have achieved very many images today, certainly not very good ones, but it's getting out to places to see what's about. If you don't get out and sometimes even take failed images, or not even get the camera out of the bag because you see something that's nice but it's just not right, it's something that you put in your mind and you'll come back to. Next time you go back to that location, you will be looking for that place. And it's a bit like today. 3 weeks ago I came here, parked at the other end of the woods, and went to that lake, found all those frogs, and because I knew they were spawning, I wanted to go back again today to see if there was any tadpoles. No sign of them, but At the same time, because I had spotted those images that I thought will just never happen with the reflections, I gave it a different viewpoint and a different go today. Now the wind has probably spoiled some in some ways because of the ripples. It would have been nice to have a very, very calm day, possibly a little bit overcast or hazy, but so that the light wasn't quite so intense. Not much variation with the lenses today. It was just literally my 24-105 for most of the images or my 100mm macro. Thanks a lot for watching.